Hello everybody and welcome, I never thought I'd say this again, back to Create to Mechanism. The reason why I never thought I'd say this again is because I am actually canonically past the point where I've already finished the series in terms of recording. But I had to go back to this point because, as it turns out, I messed up some of the audio on 3 different recordings. How bad is it, you ask? Well, bad enough that I'm making this whole new video as a recap for 3 different ones. It was pretty bad. I'll play a clip for it right here to show how bad it was. Hello everybody and welcome back to some more Create to Mechanism. So yeah, pretty bad. So, for today, we're going to go over what I did in those 3 videos. That way there is no missing information when it comes to all of this. So, let us go ahead and start with the first thing in the chronological line, which was I automated the semi-stable ingots. They're not unstable, quite. they're semi-stable. So, the first video was dedicated towards getting these guys set up. As you can see right here, I have an assembly line that leads over to this because this middle ingredient is this thingy right here. Yeah, I don't have any in there, so I can't really see the name in JI, but it's called the basic collector. And how we got these was for us to get these energy collectors, which needed kind of a assembly line of upgrading the iron furnaces. It was a bit. I just had a whole furnace automation over here with all the cobblestones to get the new stone, which then got sent over to here to get that stuff. And then I just used a whole laser network to pull things where I needed to. It was a whole bit of stuff, but it was able to lead over to this, which helped us to get our first ingredients. As for this stuff up here, the crystalline ingots, we actually had these automated way earlier than I did for the rest of this, because this was actually used for the magnet kind of things that go into my processes over here. That was that one. And then the main focus of that video was actually for the crystal matrix. I mean, come on, you don't think I did all this on screen, do you? No, that was off-screen stuff. This is what I did in the main video. Does it look like much? No, but it was. So, what we have here, this was the automation for the crystal matrix. This is the main part of itself. What we have here is a system from a mod called Packaged Auto. It was my first time touching the mod, so I had to experiment a little bit with it, but what we have here is we have a packager. What this does is it takes things for a valid recipe I have set in a package recipe holder, which I had over here, which was this package recipe encoder, which lets me make a recipe and then put that in the package. So that way it knows what items to actually craft. In this case, I had 2 recipes I needed set up: the diamond lattice and the crystal matrix. So it would make the diamond lattice with the diamonds, and then it would use the diamond lattice, which went back in here, with nether stars to go down this line to be packaged, or well, unpackaged, to then be crafted. I don't know why this is necessary, but this is the process, which then gave us the crystal matrix. However, I did need a better source of nether star automation, which is where the second part of this came in, which was to get into some hostile neural networks. So I got a wither data module, which I actually discovered does not increase in data when used in the simulation chamber. So I actually ended up having to kill enough withers to get to superior. That was fun. But then we also needed to automate these prediction matrices. So I got this formulaic assembler from Mekanism, which was honestly not that hard for me to get. It was just a basic thing for this, and it works really well. So after setting up a filter for what items I wanted to go in here, as well as a glass automation, we were then able to start getting these guys produced. And one of the ingredients was the inductive mechanism. So again, back over here, it helped that I turned on the assembly line, so that way I could try getting all of these guys maxed out. So, inductive, not a problem. I needed to do this anyway if I wanted to get the rest of these guys automated for this guy, so that was fun. So after that, we started getting our nether stars, which then went over to here. Well, we didn't get our nether stars from here. We got this prediction, which got us nether stars, which then got sent all the way over to here because I already had a drawer, which then got pulled out into here. And this is where I need to use a bit of AE2 because I needed a precise storage bus to be able to get the exact numbers of things I wanted, because otherwise it doesn't have a filter innately in it, so it would just block up. So, yeah. That was this whole thing. This next one, I'm not actually that upset about losing, because this one, Admittedly, it was kind of boring. This is all I did. This is AE2 auto crafting. I wanted to set it up so that way I could start getting better process automations. And what we have here is we just have a wireless connector connecting this guy over here wirelessly. That's a cute little thing. And then we have cables taking us over to our molecular assemblers, which are just basically crafting tables used by the the pattern providers, which take our crafting patterns with recipes encoded into them and then craft those things. And I basically just used it to automate all of the casings and such for higher machines and stuff, so that way I can help with further stuff. Really, the biggest reason why this one is so little is just, look at these recipes. Look at these recipes. Look at these recipes. It was so much extended crafting. I'm gonna show you guys something. I do not like extended crafting. When I open up this guy, it's not that difficult. When I open this guy, you can see, I've already clicked it. Little bit of lag. When I open up this guy, let's just wait. There it is. Bear in mind, the more I have to click these, the longer it takes. I was not happy with this. So, yeah, auto crafting, a lot of video for not a lot of result. Honestly, that's been my series so far. For the last thing that we did, though, in this, what's going to be a very short video recap, we need to go to the end. So, if I take you all over here where I had set up my laser drill, we are going to find something very special. As you can all see here, we've got ourselves a warden. Now, what's happening here is we have ourselves a soul laser drill. What this thing does is it extracts souls from the warden and then uses this to help speed up things exponentially. Like, look at this. If I remove the upgrades, that is still way faster than it's supposed to be. Like, oh my gosh, it is absolutely insane. It's so fast, I actually had to disconnect these guys from the main power network and use a new power, which is a thermo generator. Now, I had to use these for a few things around the base, which I had also done within the span of these 3 videos. But what the thermo generator does is it takes a heat and a coolant source to generate power, but you can actually supercharge it with various things. And the best ones to use is a red matter block for the heat and our liquid sky solution for coolant. And you can see at very small intervals, we're getting a lot of power when it comes to these things. Now, this wasn't the whole video of it. It wasn't just this simple process. The biggest thing was actually trying to get the warden in the first place. For us to do that, though, we need to go to another dimension. And it was this portal right here that made it all possible. Now, fortunately, that doesn't do anything, but going to this dimension always gives me anxiety. So, will you shut up? But yeah, I managed to get some Skulk Shriekers, which the way I got those was just by sieving some Endstone. It had a really low chance, but yeah, it was that. I don't remember what the catalyst for this was. It's honestly not that important. So now, once we go into here, though, we're going to find ourselves a very fun dimension. Welcome to the Deeplands. Oh my god. Oh, I hear the things. This place is kind of scary, actually. So, oh, and there's a Shrieker. Wow, wait, there was a Shrieker this close? Wait, seriously? I had to search for a long time. Oh, hi! Hi! Oh, hi! Hey, listen. There's a certain irony in the fact of there being phantoms in an underground dimension. But yeah, as you can see, there's all sorts of Skulk mobs. There's a Skulk Snapper. He's a cute little guy, but he'll bite your ankles off. There's a Shattered, which is kind of like a Enderman version of a Warden. There's also the Wardens, which can spawn, which was the whole thing I needed. So that way I could then get it in a mob imprisonment tool and just carry it anywhere. Actually, you guys will help me demonstrate that. Okay, come here. There we go. It was literally as easy as that, and then I can just go ahead and quarantine you over here, and with the confusion, I can get out of here. So yeah, this dimension was a little unsettling, and I've already gotten lost. But yeah, creepy dimension. Creepy steps when I make footsteps. Just listen. Isn't that terrifying? But yeah, that was pretty much everything I did in the 3 videos. And that's the sad thing, is that All those 3 videos, each of them were roughly about 30 minutes of actual recording with hours of off-screen work for 12 minutes of unpaused recording. I hope you all enjoyed the basic recap of those 3 videos that can be explained in 12 minutes.